Pakistan was a major source of recruitment for the British Army. The Pothohar region of Punjab and some districts of former North were the principal recruiting grounds for soldiers and officers. At the time of independence, the armed forces of Pakistan comprised 120,000 men. By the mid-1960s, the number had risen to 300,000, and today its strength is around 520,000. In February 1954, the Army received a big boost when the U.S. decided to provide military assistance to Pakistan to strengthen their defense capabilities. Pakistan's membership of CENTO and ACEATO also proved beneficial in professionally strengthening and modernizing the army. In October 1958, General Ayub Khan overthrew the government and set a precedent for the army to overthrow civilian governments in the future. The period 1958 to 71 was marked by the control of the military, as the heads of the state in that period were both army chiefs. The 1962 Constitution, which was enacted by Ayub Khan himself, he had devolved the powers of acting president to the Speaker of the National Assembly, but this provision was flagrantly violated in March 1969. When power was handed over by Ayub Khan to General Rahia Khan, the army chief. The loss of East Pakistan in 1971 and the detention of 92,000 prisoners of war, largely from the army, by India was the first blow to the prestige of the army. The Simla Agreement with India, which facilitated the release of these prisoners, added to the stature of the civilian prime minister, and it was for the first time that the army was de facto brought under civilian control. This was the background against which the 1973 Constitution was enacted. The Constitution gave control and command of the armed forces to the federal government. It is another matter that the Constitution was violated by Zulfikar Bhutto's own hand-picked army chief, who he thought was so loyal and subservient that he would carry out his orders. This rude shock was an awakening to the civilian leadership that the army always acts as an institution and that personal affiliations did not matter much. In October 1999, the army once again assumed power by deposing the elected Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and installing the army chief, General Pervez Musharraf, in power. The difference this time was that the President of the Republic was allowed to remain as a figurehead, and the Army Chief became the Chief Executive, exercising the powers of Prime Minister as set out in Constitution.